instead of winning the week 4-0, you'll have to settle for 2-0. It is still your third consecutive winning week. Those points courtesy of Corey Anderson's win, by the way, as underdog over Glover Teixeira. So we are tight here, tighter than we've been in a long time, 88-79. And now we spin it forward, July 28th, UFC Fight Night on Fox, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And with us to make picks today from Northeast Maryland, Tommy Phelan is with us. Tom, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We are doing well. We appreciate you listening to the show and obviously you hopping on. I know we've had you in the queue for a while, so thanks for your patience. Let's get to this main card. It's a good one coming up this weekend. First fight you will see, at least on the main card on Fox. Prelims might be on Fox as well. Olivier Aubin-Mercier trying to hold serve here. The Canadian gangster on Canadian soil taking on 13th ranked Alexander Hernandez. Tommy, who do you like?
They're both coming off huge first round knockouts, so they can both finish fights. OAM's know that. I think OAM's going to have the edge just with his experience in the UFC. Hernandez is new. Possible Dundasso practitioner, maybe faked that the glove touch at the beginning of his fight.
Right.
But I think OAM's going to bring the beat down in his fanny pack.
They did. They sent us. Reebok sent us all fanny packs that I will be wearing on weigh-in day there in Calgary. Yes. But you bring up a lot of good points, and a lot of people, too, with Alexander Hernandez will reference that, faked glove touch, and he melted Beneil Dariush shortly thereafter. Ken Flo, so Aubin-Mercier is not ranked right now, despite having won his last 4. He stopped Evan Dunham. That was at UFC 223 in April. Hernandez is all the rage right now. He's won 7 in a row. Given the nature of the Dariush win, he's the guy with the number next to his name. Who do you think gets it done here, Aubin-Mercier or Alexander Hernandez?
This is a tough one. I think OAM has a lot more experience. This guy can crack his way. I think Hernandez is way faster, and I think he's got the background in order to stop that grappling and kind of, perhaps neuter the grappling of OAM. I'm going to go with Hernandez here. I think he gets the win.
And again, no betting line as yet on a lot of these, so we will adjust the standings accordingly. Also part of what is a banging main card in Calgary, former strawweight queen Joanna Jędrzejczyk, back-to-back losses to Rose Namajunas. Here she draws Tecia Torres. First 3-round fight for Joanna since December of 2014. Tecia Torres, Tommy, is obviously right there. She is coming off a loss to Jessica Andrade. How do you forecast this one shaking out at 115 pounds, my man?
This one's interesting to me because now Torres is training with Rose, so she'll probably be getting tips, and Rose will be able to tell her some of JJ's weaknesses. As you said, it's Joanna's first non-title fight since Carla Esparza. But I think since it's only 3 rounds, she won't have to watch her energy. She'll be able to go just all out. I don't think Torres will be able to stop her from throwing her combos and finishing them with the kicks. It's close to me, I think, with Torres training with Rose, but I think JJ gets it.
All right, Joanna Jędrzejczyk for Tommy. Kenny, interesting fight in a lot of respects for me. I'm curious how Ticia's going to approach it, if she's going to maybe try to ground things early, but a very interesting fight. I think Joanna will probably be about a 2-1 favorite. Some people think it might be more pronounced than that. Your thoughts on what is a very important fight here at 115?
Well, one thing I think is for sure is Tecia Torres is most likely going to show up. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I just don't know. How is she going to come into this fight confidence-wise, after losing to Rose Namajunas twice in a row? And no shame in that, and those losses. Obviously, Rose, a tremendous fighter, really has matured, has so many skills. But for Joanna, Tecia is the type of fighter who can get in and get out, strike, and really frustrate you within 15 minutes. She tends to struggle against people like Andrade. People who are trying to take her down. People who are trying to wrestle her. Joanna Jędrzejczyk isn't going to do that. I don't think she really has to worry about that. And Tecia is just as fast as Joanna Jędrzejczyk, in my opinion. If Joanna shows up with her confidence and is motivated and looking to get that belt back, I think Joanna should win this fight. But Tecia really can pose a lot of problems. I'm going to go with Joanna here. I think Joanna will be able to outpoint her. I think it's going to be a closer fight than a lot of people think, though.
And again, based upon the betting line, and Tommy, this applies to you as well. Feel free to text me, guys, and change your picks as Kenny did a week ago, and Team Anik will fucking take it. All right, co-main event. Former UFC featherweight champion, the consensus greatest 145-pound fighter of all time, Jose Aldo facing Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. Stevens set for his 29th UFC appearance here. Tommy, it looks as though Jose Aldo is going to be the slight favorite here early during fight week. Your thoughts on Aldo and Stevens in the co-main?
I think Aldo's going to come out hungry for this one. He's actually the second champion on this card to lose twice to the same guy, or, well, Joanna, the same girl.
Right.
But I think he's going to come out hungry. I think he's going to use his timing, his reads, and his counters. Stevens can tend to get a bit reckless, even though he does have dynamite in his hands. I think Aldo's going to come in. If he brings the leg kicks to the table, slows Stevens down a bit, I think he's going to take it.
All right, Jose Aldo for Tommy Kenflo. After a combined 15 title fights in the WEC and UFC combined, I just said combined twice, this will be the first non-title 3-round fight for Jose Aldo in nearly 10 years, dating to 2009. His first 3-rounder in the UFC. This man fought our guy Kenflo, of course. It was October of 2011. Huge spot for your boy Jose Aldo this weekend. Kenflo, how does it go for him against Jeremy Stevens?
This is a tough one. You know, we haven't really been hearing too much out of the Aldo camp either. Listen, he lost to a great fighter in Max Holloway. Max Holloway really, kind of has his number. But he has also set a blueprint. You get your confidence from two people. You get it from yourself or you get it from others. And for Jeremy Stevens, the blueprint is laid out on how to beat Jose Aldo. You have to get in boxing range. You have to pressure him. You have to take away those leg kicks. And if you're able to do that and outbox him, you can win this fight. Now, Jose Aldo can box as well. Where Jose Aldo, I think, has failed, especially in that fight against Max Holloway, was with the lack of footwork. You know, because he is faster, because he does have great head movement, he tends to not move his feet sometimes. He gets a little lazy. If he hasn't corrected those mistakes, Jeremy Stevens will win this fight. If Jose Aldo comes with all of his skills and is moving his feet, and if it's the Jose Aldo that fought Frankie Edgar in the rematch, then Jose Aldo will win that fight. That was a completely different Jose Aldo who defensively was just on fire. We haven't seen that same kind of defense out of Jose Aldo, so I'm a little bit worried. This isn't for a title fight. And I don't know if Jose Aldo is that same guy. I'm going to go with Jeremy Stevens here. I need the points. I also believe in his power. And also Jeremy Stevens realizes this is his best shot at getting a title shot with a win here on Saturday night.
Most definitely is. Jeremy Stevens probably a slight underdog against Jose Aldo this weekend. All right, main event. How good is this? The rematch between lightweight contenders Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. Monday of fight week, Poirier is the favorite, minus 150. Eddie Alvarez, the slight dog, at plus 120. First meeting, as most of you know, ended with a no contest. Gonna get some finality here, I would think, in this series here between Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. Tommy, who do you like in the Calgary main event, and how do they get it done?
I think Poirier definitely has the crisper boxing. Alvarez tends to wing his punches in there. They're both tough guys. I think Alvarez might have the better chin, but I think Poirier can stay outside, soften him up with body shots, and get his combos working. He's still evolving. I think he learns from the last fight, and Poirier gets it done. Round 5 decision.
God, Tommy's just all over it. Concise, too. You're a producer's dream. Tommy Phelan. All right, Kenflo, Poirier in 9 fights since moving up to lightweight. Hard to argue with the results, 7-1 with that no contest as well against Eddie Alvarez. Remarkable career for the Underground King Alvarez, former UFC lightweight champion. He's won everything there is to win, and that includes 2018 Fight of the Year against Justin Gaethje last December. Fight he won by knockout to set up this rematch, which he seemed to be reluctant to take at times. It shall be done Saturday night. Flo, how do you see it playing
out? 2 major improvements in the game of Dustin Poirier. 1, his boxing. 2, his confidence, his mental game. This is a different Dustin Poirier. This is a Poirier who truly believes in himself now as a professional mixed martial artist. We saw refinements in his game, in his boxing against Justin Gaethje. He was throwing straight punches. He was moving his head. He was defensively responsible, keeping his guard up throughout that fight, which was a very dangerous one. And again, 155 is his weight class. He has proven that time and time again. I think Eddie Alvarez has had a lot of fights. He is as tough as they come, but I don't know if he's going to be able to withstand yet another war here against Dustin Poirier. I think Poirier gets it done and probably gets the finish in and around the 3rd round.
Round 3, you going TKO or sub for DP?
I'm going to go with TKO.
TKO Dustin Poirier round 3 for Ken Flo. And again, if you guys see the prices at Ken Flo, if Jeremy Stevens ends up a favorite, maybe you go the other way with Jose Aldo. So keep that in mind. Tommy Phelan, last thing. So I got one guest picker coming up in a couple weeks. He was not a fan of Kenny Florian, and he wants to come on the show and represent my squad. We bring on all these guys who are huge Ken Flo fans. He's like, how about bringing someone on who's going to challenge Ken Flo? Were you a big Kenny Florian fan in his heyday, in his prime?
Oh, back in WEC, through his early UFC career, up until he retired, he finished fights and did whatever it took to win. I'm a huge Kenny Florian fan.
See,
you put him on the spot. That's why you put him on the spot. That's why he had to say yes. See, that's the only reason, Tommy. Tommy, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Tommy, good job today, my man. I appreciate you hopping on, and we'll have you back at some point down the line.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Good job.
Tommy Phelan with us on the Anik and Florian podcast. All right, that is going to do it for today. Thank you to our guests, Ray Longo, Pahumpa, Marcos D'Amata. Thanks also to our production crew today, John Hill, Alyssa Green, Jonathan Sia, all carrying a heavy load during Fox's coverage of the World Cup. And to that end, all hands on deck 7 days from now. Everybody's coming back. Ben Wasoric, vacation's over. Janko, get back in the studio. Next week, we will all be live in our Los Angeles studio. I bought a tube of Vegemite on Amazon this morning.
Yes.
So it is on its way to Venice. No, I'm sending it here, Kenny. But if it doesn't arrive, you might have to get a tube of Vegemite.
All right.
And then I guess we just need a slice of bread, and then it will be up to you next week, live and in color, to determine how much Vegemite I will consume. But
layered.
We just
it's
need bread, and I don't even know what to do. I'm going to hold my nose, and I'm going to get a chaser of some kind. But we're excited to pay off the bet next week. Thank you all for listening. For Kenny Florian, I'm John Anik. We will talk to you in less than 7 days, live from Los Angeles. Until then, Calgary awaits. Enjoy the fights on Fox. See you later.
The John Anik and Kenny Florian Podcast.